Yes, yes, yes. It's that time again. We in here to win. You dig me? I am Mike P. This is the One Mike Podcast, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Jam-packed show today. Jam-packed show today, baby. We're gonna get right to the meat and potatoes of it. We did get right to the realness of it. You're, thank you for supporting those deciding to support. Please share. Please like, subscribe. Go to YouTube right now. One Mic Podcast. Hit that subscribe button. You can support so you say you love me like you do. Show me, please. You know? All a brother can ask for. A little support, man. Okay? I'm gonna try to give it up the best way I know how. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got the 2-5. One half a sport supporters order. You dig that? A little earlier than usual, a little earlier than usual. I'm gonna try to, I had the research ready today, you dig? Research team, we put a lot of work in. Me, myself, and I. You dig? For real, for real. Let's get right into it, though. Right into it. Like we like to do it on a daily, you dig? Pardon me. Denver Broncos and the Saints tonight. It's gonna be, I guess, a wild game. Because a lot of times when we watch games, these are the games that be the most exciting games, believe it or not. Because you don't know what to expect. The Saints have a litany of injuries. It is ridiculous for them. Half of their team is hurt. So to me, man, I look for. I don't even know who I'm picking in this game yet, but I'm just gonna give y'all who's out in this game. Denver Broncos, Surtain is out. Their left tackle is out. Starting linebacker is out. You dig? For the Saints, Cruz is still out there, center who lit us up. Shaheed is out. Derek Carr is out. Taysom Hill is out. You dig? So, man, at receiver, they got what's called starting. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's gonna be wild, man. I look for this game to be a wild game. I think Bo Nix will continue to do what he's been doing, just staying steady. Just not rocking the boat. They 3-3 too. So again, this we're gonna see who the people who are the pretenders or who really are contenders. That's really what it is. Like it's gonna boil down to those situations. I think. I think that they're in a very, I guess, delicate situation where Atlanta's leading Division 4 and 2. Talking about the Saints, you know what I'm saying? They're in a delicate situation. Like they can't fall off the wagon. Personally, I feel like they have to really start putting some wins together if they want to continue to be in that top upper echelon. You know what I'm saying? So I think Spencer Rattler has played decent up until this point. We'll get to see him in full self. But their starting receivers is gonna be Mason Tipton. Olave is out too. Bud Mims. So I look for Juwan Johnson to get a lot of catches. The tight end, you know what I'm saying? Alvin Kamara gonna get the ball. I think, at least 25 times if they're smart, if they want to win the game. You don't like the Saints don't want to fall behind too much. 4-2. Broncos they're steady with 3-3. So to me, it sets up for a game that we won't probably see coming. So, I like games like that. Believe it or not, I don't like when they're playing in London. I hate that. Wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's trash. I'm not with it. I don't like getting up early. Never have, and I never will. You're all that early bird gets the worm. All that team no sleep. I was never on that shit. I'm gonna give me some naps. I'm gonna take me some. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give me some rest. Don't know about everybody else. I work hard enough. So when it's time, trying to lay it down, I'm gonna lay it down, relax for sure. 2 5 shout out to Bud Memes. I don't know who brother is. Like he got off last week though. I peeped that. So 2-5 is definitely our resident college football analyst as well. So shout out to Sports Reporters Order. You did. Shout out to Cups of the Gang as well. Because I don't know who Cuz is, but I'm pretty sure he does. He got off. He got off yesterday, so well, not yesterday, this past week. So it's gonna be a. I think it's a good game personally because you got Sean Payton going back to New Orleans too. You know what I'm saying? To face his whole team, so that's a dynamic there. Um, he knows Dennis Allen's defense, so there's some key points there that we can hold on in too, as well. So I look forward to be a good game. I look forward to be but people think it's not going to be a high scoring game. That's when I feel like it's going to be a high scoring game. Just like people didn't think the Jets game was to be as high scoring, and ta-da, look what it was. You seen Josh Allen them go over that there a lot of them out because I mean defense can only do but so much if they're on the field all the time. So it's gonna be a lot of punts I think, but I think it's gonna be a lot of big plays too in this game. You dig? So go ahead and move forward to our next segment. It's called, better today. You on Prize Picks, you on FanDuel, if you're on Bet MGM, Bet 360, they got ESPN Bet, they got all type of stuff. I'm on a new bet joint called Fliff. If you haven't heard of Fliff, go download that Fliff right now. I'll send you my code here so I can give me some free coins. But Fliff is, man, you can upload $1.99 on Fliff, and they'll give you $5. You're every time you upload $1.99. You can't beat that. So to me, I put like the little small little 3-man plays. It's like builders. You just want to get like maybe a couple dollars a day, like maybe on a builder, you think somebody gonna score or somebody gonna hit a three or easy stuff. You put like four of those together, put $3 on it, it's gonna give you at least $40. You can't beat that. Then you just keep building, building and building and building. But for the bet of the day, man, we 5-1 going into week 7. We did hit on our last bet. It was for who was our last bet? George Kittle. Didn't forget it was George Kittle to go over his amount. I told you his birthday was the day before, so I knew he was going. He always eat on Monday night. Him and Debo, they don't always eat on Monday Night Football. So to me, going into this week, I'm gonna study. I've already kind of put some names I had together. Uh, and the Dalton Kincaid jump hit too. Excuse me. You dig? So yeah, Dalton Kincaid hit another tight end. I told you the tight ends, kickers. That's the game. That's the name of the NFL. Tight ends and kickers. I want y'all to know for a fact I coined that. I don't want nobody try to come behind me and try to say it, or somebody on TV and y'all be like, "Oh yeah, well, they said it first." Nah, I said it first for shizzle. But going into this week, man, I think the better the day. I'm gonna look at the line real quick. Let me look at the lines. Let's look at the depth charts real quick. See who's gonna start first. That's what I always look for. I had a couple in mind already. You know what I'm saying? So to me, we're gonna yeah, I think a lot of people are going with Cortland Sutton since Sertan is not, well, not sorry, she's not Sertan. Lattimore will be playing, to be guarding him. So to me, I'm staying away from that. I'm not gonna go nowhere near. I like to go in a line where people just don't really see it coming. And it's gonna be an easy line. Most of my lines be hitting like in the second quarter. Mason Tipton is somebody I'm looking to go over. He had a decent game last week. He's probably going to be, you got to look, thinking about, the fact that Spencer Rattler, that's the guy he practiced with most majority of the time in practice. So I'm going to go Mason Tipton over 27 yards receiving. You heard? I got another one. I'm thinking I'm going to go with uh, Bud Means over. I think he going to get us over too. Those are two receivers. And I think Alvin Kamara's going to score a touchdown. Some way, somehow, you're going to get into that end zone. You did? So I think that, he's somebody that is a touchdown magnet. He just figures out a way to get in that end zone. That's why I like Alvin Kamara. He's up there in the top echelon of running backs each year. So I look for him to go ahead and score. Look for him to go ahead and handle business tonight. Yep. But yeah, moving on to our next segment, man. Black on black news, baby. Black on black news. You heard? I'm gonna work on the intro music for that jump, but yeah, it's black on black news, man. This news that I think that us as black people should know, should have be abreast to know what's going on out here in this world. Let me give you a small video. Just nothing too crazy, man. Just like to get right to the point. Like to just give you some history, some understanding. If you something you haven't heard about, here you go. Just want to go ahead and hip you to some stuff that you may want to know about as a parent, as somebody out there who used to love eating cereal. Check this out.
Now to the protesters outside the Michigan headquarters of Kellogg, demanding the cereal giant remove artificial dyes from cereals in the U.S. They've done it in other countries. Eva Pilgrim is here with more. Good morning to you, Eva.
Good morning, Robin. There has been this push amongst moms to really pay attention to the ingredients in the foods we feed our kids. This morning, growing concerns around what's in breakfast cereal.
This morning, a food fight over cereal. About 1,000 people protested outside the Michigan headquarters of Kellogg, demanding the company remove artificial dyes from cereals in the U.S.
I'm here for the mom, all the moms who struggle to feed their children healthy food without added chemicals.
Kellogg, the maker of Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks, announced nearly a decade ago that it would remove artificial colors and ingredients. The company did that in other countries. For example, Fruit Loops in Canada are colored with concentrated carrot juice, watermelon juice, and blueberry juice. But in the U.S., Fruit Loops still contain artificial colors, including red dye number 40, yellow dye number 5, yellow dye number 6, and
let me educate you a little bit too by being in the school system. We realized red dye 40 enhances kids to have a lot of behavior issues. Yellow dye 5, another one that enhances children to have outrageous behavior issues when it comes to ADHD, when it comes to kids not having a good attention span. So you have to look at these things, man, as black people and understand and hone in and say, wait a second, why here they're feeding us this bullshit, but other countries is banned? So we have to get right and exact, get a renewed mind, get a clear understanding and say, hey, stop eating this stuff. You heard?
And blue dye number 1. Studies have claimed those dyes could cause behavioral problems in some children. California just last month banned the dyes from food served in public schools.
It is not crazy to expect better for Americans.
In response to the protest in Michigan, Kellogg insisted its products are safe, saying its ingredients meet federal standards. The FDA has said most kids have no adverse effects from color additives, but
see, we had to stop trusting the FDA. These are private sectors that are getting kickbacks and getting paid to let this stuff slide. These people have no moral compass on what we should be eating as a community, as a nation, and as families. So we have to do our own work for ourselves. We have to say we don't think this is good enough for our child based on our data, based on our research, not what they say about what we should be doing. Again, we got to get right and exact. We got to get a clear understanding. We got to hone in on that understanding and then evolve and grow. We can't blame our parents for the things that they were brainwashed and taught to give us. You did? But they've changed the ingredients with everything. A lot of things don't have the same ingredients in 1970. So you could have ate this stuff in 1970, or you could have ate pork and all this type of stuff then and survived to be in your 90s, be in your 80s. My grandma was 93 years old. She still eats pork to this day at a moderate amount. You did? But it's just the fact that they've changed the ingredient. It's still the same brand name, but they cheapened the brand and they put a bunch of additives and sedatives and fake sugars and all type of stuff within the food. So like I said, I'm not a health guru, but I'm just trying to get better in my life and do things in a correct manner. You did?
critics argue the FDA developed its standards without assessing possible neurological effects.
And that California law, it bans 6 food dyes. Fruit Loops actually contains 4 of them. And it'll be interesting to see how that law in California affects production nationally and to see if other states follow suit.
Right.
Because when you see what other countries are able to do it, why not here in the U.S.?
They have much stricter laws in some other countries overseas.
All right.
Right. As they should be, because they're not trying to be incited or be in a situation where they're responsible for people's demise. They actually care about their residents. They care about the people that live in their country. Here's another little tip I gathered upon that they're not talking about nationally. As you know, it's not as profound. It's not been out there as we really should be knowing about these things. Heard? So let's check this video out too. All right, get on out of here now. All right, hold on now.
Unlimited and get one free for a year with Xfinity Mobile.
Commercial.
This morning, new concerns over potential listeria contamination, with millions of pounds of ready-to-eat meat, chicken, and turkey pulled from major grocers nationwide. This morning, new concerns over potential listeria contamination, with millions of pounds of ready-to-eat meat, chicken, and turkey pulled from major grocers nationwide after federal safety testing found the bacteria in some foods from Bruce Pack, a pre-cooked meat producer. The items came from its Oklahoma plant, where production is now paused.
That widespread distribution network could deliver food to many different areas.
The far-reaching recall includes popular staples like chicken enchiladas sold at Trader Joe's, salads from Wegmans and Kroger, and pasta at Walmart.
If you bought any ready-made salads, throw them away.
There are no confirmed illnesses so far, but the CDC says symptoms can take up to 10 weeks to develop.
What kind of symptoms should people look for?
Fever, severe muscle aches, or any type of sign of stiff neck or confusion.
The recall comes on the heels of a widespread listeria outbreak from contaminated Boar's Head deli meat. Now
that actually kill people right here in Virginia. That the Boar's Head company had to shut down this operation right here in Virginia. You did? So we got to get abreast of these things and have a clear understanding on these things. Know the name brands, know the places they're being sold at, and don't buy them.
Tied to 10 deaths and 59 hospitalizations.
I went through hell and back again. I don't wish it on anyone.
With the USDA now launching an internal investigation into the agency's own handling of the matter. Boar's Head telling NBC News the company is aware of the probe and will be fully cooperative with matters related to the recall.
And doctors warn pregnant women, the elderly, and immunocompromised individuals should be especially cautious. Officials recommend throwing out or returning any foods included in this latest recall. We'll have a full list on our website today.
Throw it away. Do not even play with it, man. Don't even joke around with it. Throw it in the trash. Unfortunately, they try to sell us a bag of shit, man. So we got to get right and exact. We can't walk around here acting like we don't know when people are telling you and showing you now. Again, that's a blessing of the internet. So understand that. Let me just give you a backstory on Dr. Kellogg as well, just for kicks.
It all started with the inventor of cornflakes, John Harvey Kellogg. He was an American businessman credited with developing dry breakfast cereals, making him the father of the cereal industry. This all sounds normal so far. Well, it gets much worse, because what influenced him to create cornflakes was his religious beliefs. As a child, Kellogg was brought up as a Seventh-day Adventist, so his medical research and practice were shaped a lot by the church's views. He was so into religion that in 1876, he became the head of a church-founded health institute in Battle Creek, Michigan, called the Battle Creek Sanatorium. It became a popular med spa, nicknamed the Sand, and grew so much that it had more than 30 buildings on 30 acres and could accommodate around 13,000 guests. The Sand was the best example of the health resort trend during the mid to late 1800s. Aimed at middle and upper class citizens, these establishments would offer restricted diets that often involved eating a lot of cereal, granola, and yogurt. The Sand was also the birthplace of the cornflakes, for the weirdest of reasons, as we'll discover. The Kellogg's brothers promoted cornflakes as a healthy breakfast food, although for different reasons. Will Keith Kellogg wanted to make money, but John Harvey wanted to cure people of their base passions. So his life goal would become to cleanse America's breakfast routines. He began by promoting the consumption of yogurt, grains, and nuts among the residents of the Sand. Because these foods had little flavor, they were deemed up to his standards. At the time, the standard breakfast for the well-off was eggs and meat, while the less wealthy conformed themselves with porridge and gruel. Almost all variations of American breakfast included something fried or some variety of meat. and anything that involved grains usually took too much time to correctly prepare. Tea and coffee had led people to perdition. Candies, spices, cinnamon, and cloves all incited dark thoughts in people's minds, and Kellogg had to get rid of them through cereal. Among his recommendations was to specifically consume a daily pint of yogurt, one half through the mouth and the other through, well, the anus. Yeah, he literally suggested that. And still.
And these are the people that they tell us are the folks who are smart. They're the experts that they tell you about. This is why I had to play the whole video. I wanted to make sure that we hone in again, get the clear information on these people, and realize from that point, from the 1800s, they've been making money off the communities for years by promoting and pushing this bullshit propaganda to our people, saying it's a nutritious snack. They're giving kids this stuff in school. It's not good. It's not good for you, and you shouldn't be giving it to your children. Stop buying it.
People thought Dr. Kellogg was among the best physicians of his time, a guru leading a beacon of wellness for unwell Americans. He personally treated the likes of Henry Ford and even Thomas Edison. That's how famous he was. So back to Dr. Kellogg, he had an obsession with stopping passional desire in all of society. During his time, he wrote many anti-sex books, as he believed that self-pleasuring would bring about a plague, worse than the one that affected Egypt in the Bible. That's crazy. Plus, some rumors claim that he, a married man, was so obsessed with abstinence that he rarely touched his wife. Some even say he never consummated his marriage. Although he did foster 42 children with his wife, he never had one of his own. John Harvey's theories are complex and convoluted, but we can summarize them easily in one sentence. The blander the food, the healthier for the person. It was one of his many goals to create food so bland that people wouldn't feel motivated to pleasure themselves, ignoring the lack of relation between the two factors. His pseudo-scientific theories led to him developing a list of foods he felt the passion-driven population could eat to stop themselves from feeling too passionate. And among these were the cornflakes. But the creation of the cornflakes was actually an accident. Apparently, someone left out some wheat-based cereal dough for quite a while, which led to its fermentation. Some thought it would be a great idea to roll out the moldy dough into thin sheets and then bake it. After all was over, the fermentation and high temperature led to thin, crispy flakes. They were also the pioneers of granola, by crumbling whole graham biscuits during their first attempts at this breakfast. This original cornflake was the very definition of bland food. It was only a mixture of cornmeal, flour, and oats. So then Dr. Kellogg's brother, Will Keith Kellogg, wanted to keep the discovery a secret.
So there you go. You get the gist of it. I feel like that these people are diabolical and they promote this crap to our culture as something that's like the granola shit they used to give us in school. None of this shit has nutritious value to it at all. They're trying their best to make you impotent and less horny. That's what these people said. This is not my words. This is not conjecture. This is not lies. This is factual evidence. You can find this on the internet right now. It's books on this dude, basically, Dr. Kellogg, saying that he wants people to be not having sex. You heard he had 42 children with his wife. They were all fostered. He had no children by himself. How can you trust a man that don't want to have sex with his wife? I'm cool. I don't trust no dude that say he don't want to have sex with his wife. I'm cool. On their deadlocks, for sure. But yeah, that's that for now. We have one more video, man, for the Black on Black news segment. You know, the election's coming up, so we just wanted to, make sure we just putting information out there that I deem important and Black people should know about. This brother here gave a thorough breakdown on, and I will play some videos that will be both sided. You know what I'm saying? But my biggest problem is the Democratic Party. They pretend like they care about us. They pretend like they love us. They pretend like they respect us, but they're using us the whole time. We're their voter base. They do nothing for us. It's benign neglect. Just look up the phrase benign neglect. Dr. Claude Anderson, gave that statement out and gave that definition out. It is basically you're just never going to do anything for your voter base. Again, I told you before, your vote should be connected to something. So we can't continue to go out there and vote for something that's not going to happen. Like, I understand women want to get out there and vote for the first woman to be up there. I respect that. Because again, that's something that y'all been looking for and yearning for, trying for the longest. Again, I voted for Hillary Clinton. I want the same, but something had to change. We can't sit up here and just allow people to live under a cover based off these people that are celebrities. They get out here and just beat the door down and try to, they try to say, hey, Trump so bad, evil, boogeyman. But then they're not admitting to the things, the atrocities that they've done in the time frame that they've been allowed to be in that presidential seat. As far as being a vice president, why do people think the vice president don't have a job? You can go look at the things that Mike Pence did in Trump's presidency and look at every single thing he cultivated. He helped the relationship with China. That's one thing off the top of my mind. You can go look at the administrative things that he had done. So Kamami's done things to hurt us. She was the one deciding vote to basically mess up the economy. She was the one that told the people that come on over here, we have a place for you. We have asylum for you. Why do you think those people were dropped off of her front yard? Bro, we do not have the mentality of a damn squirrel, a mentality of a mental of a squirrel. We remember these things that actually happened. You were the one that ushered this stuff into our world. We didn't ask for none of this stuff. Then you set up programs to benefit them, to give them free money for housing, to give them free money for food. They going off and they still begging in the streets. They are taking over whole apartment complexes that black people occupied. Again, keyword occupied. Never said that they owned it. So, a lot of times they try to say that these are black areas. No, they're not. They're areas that are white areas that are occupied by black people. So we have to get right and exactly understand that these people are diabolical and they do not care about us, right? We know Republicans don't care about us. We know that for a fact. But we have to understand that neither one of these people care about us. So we just have to get the full information and the full understanding.
Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. That's why people again, I'm going to pick on Plies because I think he's a moron. That's why the general public is so silly and doesn't understand civics. That's why he'll stay right in the pocket of how he feels about Trump and why we should support from an emotional angle. No policy. He doesn't know the fact that she flip-flops. He doesn't know. He just doesn't want to acknowledge it. He definitely doesn't know the fact that when she was in California, and I heard Charlemagne say it wasn't true and it was a narrative. It is true.
Yeah, Charlemagne's another one who's he's a paid flunky, a paid lackey. Do you not understand? You can't listen to people like him because he'll say anything and everything to make sure his job is secure and the money that he's being paid to usher in these people. He's the same guy that sat there and let Joe Biden tell people, if you're not black, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. And he didn't check him on it. That should just show you right then and there he's a paid op. So yeah, we can't listen to people like that. We know for a fact her track record because she bragged about it for years. She's not a new character on the scene. She bragged about being the top cop and putting people in jail. There's videos of her doing these things. But we have to sit up here and let you people lie to us and let it because you have an affinity or you're protecting them or you have a job or you have some type of connection to the party. We're not gonna let you lie to us. No, we know the truth and we're gonna expose the truth. We're gonna let people know what the truth is so we can have a clear understanding of what we're dealing with here. That's the issue that I have for the most part. Ain't about nobody being a woman. I voted for Hillary Clinton and Elizabeth Warren. I was the same way I'm right now on Joe Biden's bumper the same way. Joe was the one out here saying, yeah, well, vote for me. Who stood up for me again? The African American community. He stood up again. I'm gonna have your back the way you had my back. He had nobody's back. That's why his ass is at home. If that's really even him, you dig?
1,000% kept over 1,500 inmates in California for cannabis possession. You kept them in jail, even though it was lawful then in your state at the time, because your state needed to free prison slave labor. Mm-hmm. That is what you did.
And I told you guys, if you remember, my conspiracy of truth, maybe 3 pods ago. This is what these jails are doing. They're keeping people, even people who are nonviolent offenders, they're trying to keep them in jail to have free labor for them. Hello, you have to wake up. The jail industry is a multi-billion-dollar business. They're not just keeping people in there for no reason. So when she comes out and says, hey, black man, in my new agenda for you, I'm gonna just say, hey, we're gonna have weed for free. Or weed will be decriminalized. Bro, we don't care about that. Nobody's asking for weed to be decriminalized. People are gonna smoke weed whether they want to smoke, whether it's legal or it's not legal. Because you can't control people, flat out. You can't tell somebody they can't smoke something they want to. You don't stop nobody smoking for no crack or smoking that fentanyl that you're bringing over here from China. So you can't tell nobody to smoke what they want to smoke. They're going to smoke what they feel like smoking. So that's not a benefit for me to say, oh, I done put a bunch of people in jail and kept them in jail. Again, you can look at the documents. It showed from her law office from that area, from her, where she lays the law down, so to speak, they were denying people and saying, no, you're going to stay on parole, even though you've been on good behavior, nonviolent offender. You're going to stay in jail so we can keep getting that free labor from you. Because again, they source that labor out to different companies and they get paid twice. They get paid for the labor and the outsourcing, and they take the people's check and part of the check when they get the check. It's a big game, a big diabolical game that she's been a part of for years.
And now you're talking about joy. The problem is the people like me and the others that you guys have interviewed know what we're talking about. Right. And our memory isn't like a goldfish. Right. It isn't 7 seconds. We go, and it don't even got to be that long. It can be 10 seconds. You could go, at the debate, Kamala Harris said, me and Waltz are gun owners. We're not trying to take nobody's guns. And then 2 days later, she put a ban assault weapons post up on her social media. Then if you go back further than that, you have some photos or videos circulating on the internet right now with her saying, we're not saying that you can't keep a gun. It was her and Gavin Newsom some years ago. We're not saying that you can't keep a firearm. But that doesn't mean we're not going to march in your home and see if you're not handling those weapons and fire.
Yeah, who do you think you are to say that you got to march in my home? That's what these people are. They look at you as somebody they can just control and do whatever with. They don't look at you as a citizen. That's why I laugh when they say America's full of democracy. No, it's not. It's a imperialist dictatorship, literally, on a lower level that keeps you at least comfortable to the point where you have some rights when they deem it to be okay. You dig? No, at the end of the day, we have to get right and exact. Get as many guns as you need to get, for sure. You dig? We need to make sure we're protected. Because these people want to come in our house and take everything that we have. But they put it under mass shootings. Oh, mass shootings. Look at the people who are involved in the mass shootings. Go after them. Go after those people who are involved in those mass shootings. Not the American people who just have casual guns. Again, the Constitution is under attack. And we have to understand and know that. We have to get wise. We have to get prepared and have an understanding, because these people will try their best to use anything to hurt us. Whether it's food, whether it's medical, whether it's educational, they are trying their best to hurt us. We are prisoners of war. You're
firearms properly. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. So since it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment, you're a person that is going for the job of the presidency. That job has 3 lanes to it.
Come on, then, brother, break it down.
Command the armed forces, secure the borders, uphold the Constitution. The general public doesn't know that that's the job of the president. So if the general public doesn't know that that's the job of the president, she can just say things and the celebrities can mirror these feel-good tactics, collard greens in my tub. Oh, Plies. Y'all just don't want to get behind a black woman. That's what it is. I see what it is. You just don't want to give it. That's that step and fetch it, tap dance.
Coon, that boule goofy stuff, that if you're not in a sorority, if you're not in a fraternity, you didn't go to this college, if you don't have this amount of money, if you're not in these circles, then your voice don't matter. And when he said step and fetch, that's going back dated to when they were just literally, that's like one level below where they had the minstrel shows, when they would dress up like black people and they would have shows. That's one level below that. That's when we were in a situation of we couldn't even speak up for ourselves. You dig? So a lot of things have transpired. And they had a whole show where they would just goof off and coon all day long. Step and fetch. They would just, oh, yes, sir, boys. How you doing there? Can I get your milk for you this evening? That was the most outrageous, goofy stuff I've ever seen in my life. And when I see a person like Plies, that's exactly who I realize who he really is, a goofball. You dig? His rap career is over with. So now this is the second lane of his career to be a Democratic shield and to say any goofy thing that he can say out of his mouth, just to argue with folks. But I don't argue with anybody. I just state facts and I leave it alone. Because I know for a fact I can't convince anybody. But what I can do is give information. You dig? And this has been the great segment of Black on Black News, baby. Black on Black News. You're the news that you didn't know you needed. You dig that? For real, for real. But man, I'm gonna go and get out of here, guys. Love y'all so much. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good jazz. You heard. I am Mike P. This is the One Mic Podcast. Thank y'all for supporting, commenting, sharing. You did, man. We in here heavy, baby. Love across the board. I see y'all hold me down. I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna do y'all the same way. Whatever y'all got, get remote. promote it. I'm gonna try to help out as many people I can. Be it black or white. We have human rights. But I will have black people out first. Keeping it real. We need the help first. So we deserve to get the help first. You know what I'm saying? If anybody was at a hurting worse than us, then I would say they need to get it first. So that's just the right thing to do, you know? So again, it's your boy Mike P. It's always love, peace, and soul. I'm out. See you on the next.